That's bad.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Back out in the garage working on Jack again today. If you remember from the last video, I think it was, we're switching him from the twins back to a single. Hopefully a more improved setup. We can get a little bit more power out of this thing and hopefully get the truck into the nines. Which I think we could have done it with that setup, added an intercooler to it and everything, but let's just put a single on it. We've got a good single that'll make all the power that we could ever hope for. It should spool really well with our 5.3. We'll make room to put an intercooler on it. Get them IATs dropped off. The things that I had show up for it, the charge pipe and stuff like that, I just get the stuff off either eBay or Amazon. It's cheap, works well enough, and I don't like spending a whole lot of money. Blow-off valve flange, wastegate flange, some V-bands. That's all from, actually, you Fiero guys will love this. Got the injectors the other day, and got the intake actually bolted on the car. So once I get this thing finished up, I can probably get to wiring this and get it back to running hopefully soon. What else did we get? We got the hot side piping. Again, this is just eBay special. This stuff's super cheap, really strong. It's pretty crack resistant. It's very easy to fix. And to make it pretty, you can just throw some exhaust wrap over it. I got a buddy that has been, I don't know if he's been in the 7s yet in the quarter, but he's been way faster than I've ever been. And he was like, just fucking MIG weld some mild steel. What are you doing? So I'm always one to take advice from people who are where I would like to be someday. So I was like, yeah, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Why am I pretending to be something I'm not? So I need to trim this like brace out of here, cut the holes for the elbows there, and once we get this turbo a little bit closer to where I think I want it to live, then we can start making this. I'm hoping I can get a fairly tight, it needs to be a little bit more than a 90 out of that. We'll see. I think if I kind of angle cut the ends, then it should be good. You know, if I cut this kind of like that, and then cut this one kind of like that, it should be pretty close to working. Hopefully. I might have to use one of these U-bends actually. And then, like I said, we'll be doing that, and then we will kick this one down at an angle, kind of in front of the crank pulley, and then back up. That way it stays nice and low, kind of out of the way of everything. Hopefully it gives us some room for our charge pipe, because that I'm probably gonna have to bring that up and over like this, which isn't a big deal. So this one will have a 90 coming off that into the intercooler. This one will have a 90 down and then a 90 out. So, do we even have 390s? Sheesh, I hope so. Alright. I know we got some of the U-bends. I think we've got 2 straights, 2 45s, 2 90s, 2 U's. So, we'll have to use one of the U's for that. Yeah, that's all we got. Not a big deal. Still probably get away with 1 or 2 welds on it. Well, 1 or 2 seam welds, and then the blow-off valve weld. And, ooh, I need to get a fitting for the temp sensor. Yeah, because I don't want to cut that one up, because down the road, I might use this kit on something. We might use this kit on the Mustang. Who knows? That'd be pretty cool. Probably redo the exhaust, because the 180 out of the turbo and then the 90, that really hinders exhaust flow. So a few people that are smarter than me was like, that's probably costing you quite a bit of power there. But the truck did look cool with the dual bull horns. So, like I said, might use that setup on the Mustang. I don't know. Just to get it running, perhaps. Like, I'm a big fan of just using stuff off the shelf that we have, so I don't know. That'll be once we get there. So I'm going to start cutting some things, and we'll pick up the video after I've made a little bit of progress to show you guys. Alright, got the core support cut out for the intercooler pipes to go through. I notched this so that I can get the turbo a little bit more forward. You guys see that? It's kind of dark because the turbo is kind of clocked on an angle. So if I cut this out, it allowed me a little bit more room. We'll see how that plays out. So now I can get the turbo back in the position and start chopping some pipes. Alright, got that elbow made. Seems to be fitting pretty decent. Slashed cut the ends a little bit. Luckily these are a little bit better than like a machine fit, so there's a little bit of tolerance for a hair sloppier fit. So I'm gonna put a few tacks on it to hold it in place, because that seems to, I don't want to touch it and knock it out of there. It took forever to get that thing to sit in place. And then once I get that tacked, we can cut this side, start doing that. Like I said, it's going to come up kind of on an angle like this. We'll have the wastegate up here-ish, whatever angle it needs to be perfect. I think I'm going to have to notch this a little bit so we can clock the housing a little bit better. So yeah, I'm just going to keep sweating my ass off and try and get this knocked out. Alright, got the hot side all mocked up and tacked. Turned out pretty good, I think. Here you can see everything. Once the radiator's screwed in place, it'll have plenty of air gap there. Plus, like I said earlier, I'm going to wrap the pipes, so no issues there. Did something a little bit different with the merge. Made it a little bit easier. A ton more cross-sectional area there, so that's tight. We'll see how that works out. And then, like I said earlier, we'll have the wastegate kind of diagonally here, kind of in line with the gooch of the pipe. So now I can pull it off and start kind of finish welding everything. I'm going to let it cool off for a bit though. I got a ton of tacks on there to try and keep everything where it's going to be. So I'm going to let it cool off. Got a few other things to do. And then I'll pull it off. I have to trim the bottom side of this plate here too, to kind of, you know, tidy things up a bit. Yeah, and then put the wastegate on it, and the hot side is done. That's what's nice about just MIG welding mild steel. I think I've only been working on this for 2 hours, maybe. The cold side pipes shouldn't take long at all. I might be able to get a 45 out of this and then into a 90. That'd be cool. But, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, got the hot side all welded up for MIG weld. Turned out pretty cool. I still have to put the wastegate on, obviously. Trying to decide if I want to put it on a pipe at an angle like that, which I think would probably be better, but I'd almost rather just go right to the pipe. But if I do it like that, it's probably better, probably more responsible. Oh, oh shoot, I might have to put it like this, actually. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to put it like that so that the hood closes. I didn't think about how tall that friggin' sensor is. Let's see if I do it like that. That's still pretty dang tall. And let's see, the wires for that are way down here. Will those reach? Perhaps. Perhaps. Glad I test fit this thing, because I was gonna just do one of them. That should be out of the way of pretty much everything right there. I think that's what we'll do. Sweet. Whew. Alright, hot side completely done. Got this bad mamma jamma all together. Wastegate's on. Just have to run the lines for the boost control, and it doesn't wiggle. I was gonna add a brace, it still might, but I don't think it needs it. So I've got to. The drain should be fine, I believe. The oil feed line, probably going to have to extend or change or something. Should be able to just add that extension piece, I think, with like a little union. Yeah, and then probably tomorrow, because it's starting to get pretty late, tomorrow I will make the cold side pipes. But yeah, I think this might be the best turbo kit that Jack has had yet. Certainly the best flowing one. Well, I don't know. That first one is pretty good. We'll see. Anyway, I really like this one, and this thing should make all the power this truck will ever need. Should be able to grow into this hot side a lot. Could put this thing on a gosh dang 427 or something and not run out of pipe. Anyway, I'm gonna go inside, clean up, get some lunch and dinner, and then tomorrow we'll get started on the cold side pipe. All right, it's the next day. I'm working on the cold side piping, and I've got half of it, probably like 3/4 of it, already mocked up and fitted. So it turned out this side just needed a 90 and a 45. Wanted to leave enough room in case down the road I have to add a wastegate here. Want to make sure that there's plenty of room for it to tuck under that, and should be no problem. This side, I'm going to cut that 90 up in a second. I want to shorten the little extension piece that comes off of that a little bit. I don't know if I'll really need to, but I want to. And then for the blow-off valve, I don't know if I'm going to put it down here or up here. Probably put it down here a little bit more. Not entirely sure yet, but I think it'll be down here. And then I still need to get a fitting for the air temp sensor. I'm not sure what thread I need yet, so I'll have to do that in a bit. There should be a part number on that sensor, so I can just look it up and see what thread I need and then order the bung. Yeah, and then I can get all of this welded and we're good to go. So I'm going to get back to work. This has been pretty easy so far. All I had to do was make one 10-degree cut down here and then 2 cuts for the 90, and it fit right up perfect. So that's pretty tight. For the downpipe off the turbo, not set on where we want to go with that yet. It is going to be a 4-inch dump pipe. This is a 5-inch outlet. I've got the pipe that was on Jack originally that reduces from a 5-inch to a 4-inch, and I can probably cut that up and turn things on it, and we can punch it out the fender over here and put a 3rd hole in Jack's fenders, which I don't think is really a big deal. If you look at Casey Max, that thing has like 14 holes, I think. And yeah, as long as you ignore the caterpillar welds, I think the hot side turned out pretty good. It should work really well, and that at the end of the day is all that really matters. If I was super concerned with the aesthetics of it, I could either grind it down and coat it or go over it with the TIG welder to heat the puddles and make them look a little bit nicer, but I think it's fine. Should work really well. That's all I'm really concerned about. So I'm going to get back to sweating my ass off, and hopefully next time I turn the camera on, this thing should be all done minus the downpipe. All right, aside from a few little things like oil feed and drain, the turbo dump pipe, and extending the harness for the dome pressure sensor, the turbo kit is all done on Jack. And I must say, I think it turned out pretty good. Pretty darn good. I'm sure the first time out we'll find where I need to put thicker beads on the ends so the pipes don't blow off, but aside from that, this thing's looking pretty dang good. It should be way happier. Oh, I need to, like I said earlier, I need to order the bung to weld in the temp sensor, just because this is probably not thick enough to just drill and tap it. So that will be like $5-10, and then I'll get that welded on. But yeah, this thing's looking pretty dang rad. It should be way happier. Probably the best turbo that's been on the truck. Should be able to support plenty of power. I got a buddy that had this exact, not this exact one, but this model, size, brand, turbo, and everything
on a 5.3 in his RX-7, and he went very fast with it, and it lit off very quickly on the brake. So should be way happier in the truck. Actually, this is the same intercooler that was off his car, so we're just recycling things here. Yeah, I was being a little hard on myself about these welds on the blow-off valve. They're not terrible, I guess. They're not the best either, though. So yeah, man, I can't wait. I just have to get the grill back in. I have to notch the I just have to notch this inside housing, and then we can get those back on, or get the grill back on, I mean. I might pull out this headlight just so the turbo can get more fresh air. I don't know if that headlight even works, to be honest. I know we have lights. I don't know if it's insides, outsides, what it is. Yeah, and then I want to lower the front of the truck a little bit, inch or two, and then adjust the front shocks, tighten them up a little bit. I cannot wait to see what this thing does with this new setup. We'll probably ease into it a little bit at first. Like I said, get some of the bugs worked out. I'm sure we'll have a couple times where pipes will pop off here and there. Just the nature of the beast. I would expect it to be this one down here or off the throttle body perhaps. I mean, I've got this one really tight though, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens. We should be able to comfortably run in the 9s now. Oh, and I gotta remove this line also. This was to our charge pipe injection system that never really worked right. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Probably in one of the next couple of videos, we'll have this thing fired up and probably take it down the street, test it a little bit, see how it does, and then hit the track, see what kind of number we can run. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking the bell to get notifications. If you need anything from Snake Eater Performance, use code SnyderTrod for 10% off your entire order. I'll see you guys next time.